Hello everyone watching. Thank you for your patience while I have been doing other less important things than streaming as an anime man on the internet. In the unlikely event there is anyone new watching this, allow me to cordially introduce myself. My name is Ghast, the Premier Battles GOAT at promo. If you don't know this handsome face, then hopefully you know the logo. Welcome to the triumphant return of Thursday Wordplay Thursdays. The show where we sit down with battle rappers, we watch their tryouts, we talk about how far they've come, and we potentially examine some other future battles that they've done that are of some significance. And we just happen to have one of those today, because we're getting a 2-for-1. My two guests today have actually battled each other in their tryouts, which means that we can cover both in half the amount of time, and as a follow-up, we're going to discuss the journey that led to them doing their very first 2v2 together. My two distinguished guests, first and foremost, he is said to be the face of Short Circuit, just had a very good battle with Black T, drop on Premier Battles, voted the 10th best battle rapper in the UK. My model's blinking is all over the shop. I wish I knew how to fix that, but that's irrelevant. My first guest here is DoeJoe. How you doing?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
I'm good, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Can I be a diva for 1 second? It's going to look
do.
very bad, but I want to do it anyway. Oh, ninth!
Ninth? Oh, who was 10th? Was T 10th?
No, Twister.
Oh, of course. Yep, very nice.
I must.
Talk that single digit shit.
Yeah, talk about going up one shit.
Oh, 10th in 2023 then. Yeah, flex that as well. Flex past accomplishments. God knows I'm coasting off.
Come on then. I didn't get in the last one, so I'm a flex at ninth all day.
And my other guest. Someone who, believe it or not, I've actually battled. If I was going to say I'd battled anyone by now, not the one of the two I would have guessed, but his opponent couldn't make it on the day, and his other opponent could make it on the day, but didn't want to write for the battle, so he ended up with technically no opponents. I had an hour free, apparently. So you can check this out. I believe it's on the Patreon, premierbattles.club, or patreon.com/premierbattles. You can watch Ghast versus Quicksilver. Quick, how are you doing?
Good evening, lads. I'm well. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to this.
Not a problem. Let's just transition over to the theatre room, turn down my background music a smidge, and then we will talk about this. So, obviously, the first thing we're going to be covering is this battle is you two against one another, and I just want to do what we always do at the start of this show and talk about the circumstances that led you to making that great leap to getting into the pit. So we'll start with you, Joe, because obviously the first time I'd met you was at No Loose Chat Rivalry, Funky D versus Georgie, Tech versus D-Mac, Yunnan versus Whispers, what a card that was. Was that the first event you'd attended?
No, it was the second event I attended, and the first time I met you was the first event, which was All the Smoke, Tony and Nugget. Yo, can you hear me?
I can. I was just taking a moment to relish how excellent my fact checking has been. An illustrious 8 minutes 30 seconds into this here stream with two factually proven wrong things.
He moves a couple rungs up and he forgets us worms at the lower level.
So we've been friends even longer than then, DoeJoe. So it's so we're going all the way back to December 2021. It's Tony D versus Nugget. It's Visual versus Frankie Fraser. It's the exact same building. Yeah. That's where I'm getting confused, I imagine. It's Brixton Jam. And that was the first event you'd ever attended.
Yeah, first ever event in Battle Rap I've ever attended, which is mental. Because I've been watching it for years, and then I stopped watching it. I grew out of it at the time, basically, like long story short, grew out at the time that like Bone Flop died, and then I went to college and grew out of battle rap. Got back into it in lockdown times, and then just decided finally to, when I was getting into Prem and everything, then to attend an event, and that was the first one.
So what was it that made you start watching again? Was there a specific thing? Was it like Tony versus Georgie, Era versus Era? Was it the Anarchy tournament, or did you just randomly get the itch to start watching in lockdown again? Was it a specific thing?
think it just kind of made its way back into like because I was watching a lot. I got like a lot of Ruin Your Day streams would pop up, and then I'd watch those, and I'd see new names. Like I was like, who the fuck is New Jersey Twerk? Like I was like, what are these like? And then I just slowly, and then like in lockdown, like me and my housemates were in terms of like things you do to pass the time. We literally had like a film night, and each film night the person picks the film, and one of the films I picked was the War of Words documentary about battle rap, or UK battle rap, and like literally one of them at the end of the film was like, "Why aren't you doing this?" So I was like, I was clearly like still interested, still had like the fire in me in terms of like, yeah, because I was like literally watching it, and then they're talking about like the Jefferson Price drama, and I'm like, you guys don't get it. This was massive. But yeah, just clearly was still interested in it, and then just went down the rabbit hole again, and then took the plunge in attending my first event, all the smoke event with Tony and Nugget, and then second event was Rivalry, which again, what a second event to go to.
Like, it's legendary in a very different ways. For a variety of reasons, I don't think I've been to an event like Rivalry since. So shout out Novice Chat every time.
Shout out Novice Chat every time, but like going to that event and then getting the train back to Essex at the time, like this is a mental occasion. But yeah, and then I just started going to events for about a year, and then like I've been flirting with the idea of potentially battling, and not really like I was kind of pussyfooting around it, and then eventually took the plunge. Like Trubs had this short circuit event where he was getting tryouts, and everything. The rest is history.
Okay, so quick, I'm really interested in hearing your response to this, because obviously at this point I'm already talking to DoeJoe. I know vaguely the circumstances of his side leading up into this, because we're talking about, okay, my first opponent wasn't booked, but I've got this other guy, and he's got like this acting I found his acting portfolio. Like, surely he's just going to be a shuffle ripoff, and then you turn up and you kind of floored both of us with the approach that you took. So I'm really curious, like, what was your journey into like watching and then trying out?
Yeah, I to be fair, I feel like I've been watching since like 2012, so it's been a long time since I was like 16, 17, and I actually don't know how I came into like watching my first video. I feel like it was Ilmac and then I just carried on watching, liking different battlers, like watching more of their stuff. So I was a big Don't Flop head back in the day. Then when I moved to London, Don't Flop was in London, so I could start attending events. And I think my first event was at the Fiddler's Elbow, and it would have been like a training days maybe. I think it was Kojay's return, where he lost to Danny Jack. I think that was on the card. I think
by modern standards, that's still an insane sentence. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Danny Jack was, he was on it, and Kojay was skinny. Like, it's crazy. And then continued attending events, big ones like Checkpoint at Ministry, the Sunburns at Brixton Jam. And likewise with Joe, they put out a tweet in maybe like December 2 or 3 years ago that they were looking for tryouts, and I'd always like considered it, thought it would be something I might be interested in, but I always had like reasons to not do it. And then I just thought, why not? Let's give it a go, and sent my stuff across, and we got matched up.
So are you like on camera for some of these old school battles? Is it like, spot the Sean Craig in like classic Don't Flop?
Yeah, to be fair, I used to like go on my ones, but there's definitely some I'm definitely like in some frames of it for a few seconds. Yeah. Roll of Winter. So that would be one of the Training Days cards.
Oh, I need to rewatch
And,
that just to look out for it. I know KOJ like reviewed that battle recently. I think I'm gonna, you know, if you're not watching Rap Reacts on KOJ's channel, you are missing some fantastic content. By the by, to all my viewers who are also no doubt watchers of that. I like to do my commentary in the event that I inexplicably go viral and I start speaking to the thousands of totally not saturated VTuber market masses that I'm definitely going to tap into with my USB.
It's good to do that though, because like when I was getting back into battle rap by watching Ruin Your Day streams and London Gen and Battle Rap Resume, and like just literally like I was watching old battle rap resumes, and you get like if you're missing out or if you've like gotten back into the scene again, it's a good way to catch up.
Absolutely, every comic is someone's first comic, is as the late great Stan Lee once says.
Yeah, very true.
But no, it's fascinating to think like both of you were like fans for ages, and then it comes about. So, I just want to briefly talk about like the prep side of things before we actually watch this. So, obviously, Joe, like what did you have to go off like going into this, and what is your general? First of all, what is your general prep style, and what was it if it hasn't changed? Like, you know, prepping for this, would you have done? What do you do now that you didn't back then, if there is anything?
In terms of what to go off of, I want to say like nearly nothing, because Quick made his accounts private and everything. And I was like,
yeah, we
respect that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you know, like I cuss out battlers for being detectives all the time, but there is a, you know, an element of that within battle rap. So like, yeah, I'd seen obviously he was an actor, so I'd seen his short, like his show reel. I'd seen like, yeah, just stuff like that, and then that's the stuff I'm kind of referring to in the battle. Like, yeah, there's like a car phone warehouse thing. Stuff like that, and then like, as for prep, it's a tricky one because it's like it was 60 seconds. But like because I've been watching battle rap for ages and just rapping in general, I've always been stacking punchlines. So there's lines in this battle that I probably had written for time. So it's just like in terms of actually forming a round, it wasn't actually that tricky in terms of like the time frame at all, because I would have had like punchlines just in the notes app for ages, which I could then like chop and change and add to the rounds. Yeah, that was. And then in terms of, I don't know, would I change anything now? I probably, for the prep?
Yeah, like in terms of like, you know, stuff you were like writing now, like do you look at it in terms of like, you know, did you used to write more stream of consciousness and now you do like individual 4 bars, or like how do you typically structure around?
I definitely write way more differently now, in that like I have like a bit of a Rain Man set up on my Google Drive in terms of like what's punchline performances, what's direct, what's throwaways.
Yeah, we
can
talk about that with the 2-on-2, can't we?
Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's a bit more fucking David Bowie cutting up pieces of paper now. That this battle is literally just me writing bars. Do you know what I mean?
Nice. And how about you, Quick? Like how, like obviously this you've been watching for a long time, so you know the general structure of a rap battle. But how did it feel actually putting a round together?
Yeah, so I initially I was just writing down like multis and things that rhymed in like with rough semantics of what my first impression of Joe was. So like I'd seen that he was like putting verses out on his Instagram, and he was like quite tapped in as a fan into the scene. So that's kind of like where my initial inspiration for stuff came from. So I just go about my daily life, and like things would just pop in my head. So I'll get my notes app out and just write things down, and then later on come back to it, try and flesh it out, which is still kind of what I do now. Like as it was both of our debuts, there was nothing battle wise to go off. So yeah, I based it off the material that I had, which then on the other side for Joe, he didn't have too much to go off, as I went private on social media. Sorry, mate.
It's fine. I had more to go off with you than I did for Dub, who I didn't know what Dub looked like until I got to the venue. So
Yeah.
a lot more in that regard.
Cool. So with that,
I feel like now I'm like. Sorry,
No.
I was just going to say, like, now I feel like I'm more, I think more about structure, and I feel like I've honed in more on that, like, in terms of this, writing for this battle, I was just like throwing stuff at the wall and hoping things stuck. Like, I wanted to try this, I wanted to try that, so it was like, yeah, a recipe for disaster, maybe, you know.
And with that, shall we get into battle number 1?
Nice.
do it.
Yeah, how are we doing this?
So
you're pressing play. Gotcha.
Yep, I'm gonna press play on my side. It won't work for all of us. It's literally client side. I could have done it, but I don't trust anyone's internet, frankly. So I'm just gonna count us down, and then everyone just click play, and hopefully we'll vaguely sync up.
Oh shit! Okay, I need it. Right. Let me actually load it up. Sorry, because I've just see the 2-on-2 on here. So let me find
Oh,
our battle.
Gucci.
My bad.
Oh no, they're both in there. Just scroll up.
Really?
Yeah.
Scroll up the slightest amount.
Oh, I'm a dickhead. No. Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
There it is.
Right.
Cool.
Bear with me, guys.
No rush. No rush.
Trying to think what's a good thing to pad time with while this loads. Yeah. You get your name quick.
I mean, I don't know what came first. I've always been a fan of Marvel, yeah, and then I feel like I was in an English lesson, and the word Quicksilver was there, and the dictionary definition is it's mercurial, and it means it's quick changing, and I feel like when I was an angsty teenager, it kind of reflected me, and I thought if I was ever going to do a rap battle, Quicksilver would be my name.
I do regret taking
Also,
my name
Quicksilver.
sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I wish I'd gone for something.
Why do you regret it?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I took it because it was like meant to be like a throwback to the last thing I attempted that was vaguely successful for all of 3 months that I did it. Like it was like a little video game reference for when I used to do esports casting, and I thought, you know what, it kind of fits like the industrial music I make. So if I ever end up doing a rap battle, I'll probably just use it to plug the music, which I then subsequently never made because I got too busy with rap battling. I kind of wish I'd like, you know, shortened it to just Ghast, but it turns out there are loads of people just called Ghast.
There's a Scottish Ghast, isn't
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Gasp.
Yeah, there's a Gasp who's a battle rapper. There is a guy just called Ghast who's. There's one that's just a VTuber, and there's another that's a grime artist, I think.
There you go.
So
what I'm hearing is you've got to bridge the gap and be a grime VTuber.
I mean, I'm like 3/4 of the way there. I just need to learn to spit on 140, and then we're golden.
Where did you get your name?
I hate.
Where'd I get my name?
I don't think I've heard.
Have you ever played the terrible game League of Legends?
I haven't, but I do know it.
There used to be a very. So they used to have multiple maps. Now they only like bring out the occasional map when it's like a big event. I haven't played in like 7 years, but when the game started, there was a smaller map that was 3-on-3 that had a completely different metagame. Barely anyone played it, but I was a real nerd for it and got really into the competitive scene of things. Part of the reason why I'm in battle rap is I'm immensely drawn to things that have a competitive aspect to them. So I wasn't great at the actual game, but I was really good at like picking the meta apart and doing commentary on it. And because there was like no one in the scene that was an esports caster for that specific map, there was just 3 months where I get called to do like every tournament that anyone was doing on it. And like there was this one specific tactic where the game's all like, you know, codified, but there used to be like random mob spawns, and one of the mobs that could spawn was the Ghast buff. It was just, you know, the Ghast was the ghost. You kill the ghost, you get the buff it gives, the Ghast buff, and I just kind of took it because I was like, I miss Twisted Tree Line. What a lovely little time that was.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry about the padding there. Like the computer's not working. I can play it through my phone though.
Good.
0047, yeah.
What? I didn't mean to timestamp anything. I can go
The
to
time. I'm just saying that I've been seeing Quicksilver's first round.
All right, cool. Then I will skip.
Oh, do you want to go from the in?
No, I can go
from?
47 seconds in. So cool. I'm at now 47 seconds.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if we want to go through intros or anything like that. All right. Well, okay. Right. I'm on. Cool. Yeah, I'm on 047.
Righty-ho. 3, 2,
so we're counting down.
1, play. Chat, let me know if the volume's too loud. If it is, I'll turn it down. If it's too quiet, don't worry about it. Just watch the original. That's your prerogative to hunt down the actual poor footage. We're just here discussing it.
This is the rebuild of the North. And
I am watching the 2v2. God damn it. Hang on.
Doing great.
Right. Sorry. Apologies. I'm gonna have to ask you guys to rewind to 50 seconds, and we'll start this over. I was watching it like I don't remember Stro being there. God damn it. Okay. Apologies. I'm at 50 seconds. Let me know when you're both ready.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, I need to restart because I made a boo boo.
Okay, I'm 135 in.
Okay, well I need you to return to 50 seconds and pause there, please.
50. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I'm at 49. Right.
All right.
I'm at 50. Right. Just tell me where to press play.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, Joseph? Yeah. How you doing, mate? You sweet? Cool. Yeah, I'm doing great. Oh, DoeJoe, you're a fighter. You must be used to hooks and straights. But this is a different kind of ring. Watch his colour fade and whole mood will change. Listen here, you skinny little freak. It is clear you aren't fitting in this league, so don't you dare make your threats and try belittle me when you barely can fit in your mother's skinny jeans. I'm really sorry, Joe, but you haven't got a chance. If this was Academy 23, you would not advance. He's been studying for this test so long so he could top the class, but this is my playground. Watch me bully this nerd and drop you on your ass. I mean, you've got as much personality and charisma as a used rubber. So shy and nervous. I'm thinking, who touched you? The dude's brother? So shy and nervous. I'm thinking, who touched you? The dude's brother? Your performance is so black and white. Why don't you try and use some colour? You can paint a pretty picture with your words, but what you do is duller. Whereas me, I'm a natural up here. This is something I was born to try. I close my eyes and feel the warmth from all the lights. On stage or in the pit, I'll be performer of the night, you fucking cunt. You better come with the performance of your life.
You better come with the performance of your life.
Look at him. We all know your performance is dead. Battle rap's first walking, talking, boring corpse in the flesh. I want to put a sword in your neck or a blowtorch to your head. The only way your performance could be awesome and blessed is if the audience were deaf. You're not even what I asked for, just a dartboard. You're just my target today. Irrelevant, multi-underwhelming punchline, I could even predict the bars that it will say. Now, I don't mean to make you alarmed or afraid. You're just the first obstacle in my path and a way to me carving a place in the stars of the greats. Losing to you isn't an option, it is not in my bones. Of course I came for torture, you've got to die slow. I hope all trains and buses get cancelled, you haven't got a ride home. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from?
Okay, I'm going to ask you to pause there, guys, at the end of that round. I am at 2:58.
Nice, I'm on 2:57.
Also, Joe, don't know if you can grab some headphones or something. You are getting a little echo that's getting a little bit louder as the stream goes on. Apologies if that is an inconvenience.
Sorry. Should I just... Oh, right, okay, I'll do headphones when I'm watching the battle. That makes sense.
If you could.
My bad.
No worries, no worries. It is not a problem. Thank you for bearing with us, audience, as we learn these things in real time. We are but newbies at this whole streaming thing. So I just want to talk about that first. So at the time, how did you feel it was going, Quick?
It was weird, man. It was like a proper out-of-body experience. Yeah, like I feel like I watch a lot of myself back with a like hyper overanalyzed eye. So yeah, at the time I was like, yeah, this isn't how I thought it would go in my head. I just thought I'd be a lot more comfortable, and like I was just
Oh,
so
the first round
very
is so
static.
different.
Yeah, and yeah, like quite wooden and not very mobile. And then I feel like I got one good reaction, which kind of like sort of settled some of the nerves, and which then I could allow like the material some space to breathe. I think, and it kind of like softened my laser focus on not choking and that. So yeah, it was odd.
So, something else I want to talk about, and I should have asked this earlier, because this makes a big difference in my personal opinion, especially when it's like both of your first battles. Who did you volunteer to go first, or was it a coin flip?
I think I volunteered to go first. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I think I did anyway. I don't remember there being a flip. I think I was just happy to go first.
Yeah, I did the same. I was like, especially for my first battle, I was so eager to get this first round out so I could just like relax and then see how they react to my
Yeah.
opponents first, if that's any different. And I was just like, oh man, this is once you've got it out, it's very different. I also want to talk about this because
Yeah.
like this is one of the things that I kind of was writing about when we had our little mini battle. I did not expect you to be so intense. Like I think everyone kind of expected you to be like really flowery and jokey. And again, it's probably the first battle nerves, but it's the fact that you're so physically tense as well. Like you're proper squaring up, and you're like, I'm gonna put a sword in your neck and a blowtorch to your head.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's a murderer. This guy's like,
Yeah, you know what? Like, whilst I had obviously wrote those lyrics, I in terms of like the physical approach to it, that wasn't planned. Like the fact that like we get so close to each other's face at like various
Yeah.
points throughout the battle, like it's just wild to me because that like
Yeah.
I didn't come in with a game plan or a tactic of doing that. Like
Me neither.
I feel like
Me neither.
a lot of what I wrote was like Yunnan is like one of my favorite battlers, so like he's probably had an influence on some of my writing, especially for this battle anyway. But yeah, I also wasn't expecting to have that to try and have that imposing physicality. It's odd.
I'll tell you what, like on the day when you're doing your first battle, or just like I guess kind of on battle day in general, when you kind of even if with opponents you're cool with later down the line, there is that moment in the venue where you're kind of scoping them out. Like you're like, oh, so and so just came into the venue now, like, so you kind of see them from a distance,
Yeah.
and then like with Quick, I think we like quickly spoke, and then like I went away, and I was like, all right, he's gonna be funny, I can tell, and then like immediately. It's not showing as much in this round, but it shows throughout the whole battle. He is in my face to most like number one extent of battlers being in my face. Like Quick is up there, so like to have that experience off the rip was kind of yeah, it was definitely something. And then like you can tell the adrenaline's flowing on my end because the first bar of Quick's thing, he's like, "You right, Joe?" And I go, "Yeah," like without even thinking. I'm like,
Call and
just like,
response.
yeah. So yeah, but like, yeah, so like, yeah, having that experience in my tryout where, you know, I'm dealing with an Aggie battle off rip definitely is, you know, helped me in the future.
amazing. I've just realised that Premiere are in fact doing a live stream themselves of a Q&A with the staff, which is probably the reason why my viewership has more than halved. But no, completely understandable, folks. Please do check that Prem stream and the VOD of this if you want to alternate between them. As Prem staff, it would be remiss if I tried to leech away our potential audience. But regardless, like, this will be fun at any point in the day. So Joe, should we get into your first?
Yeah, sure. So I'm on 257. That's the right one. Yeah.
Yep, we're about a second out, so that's fine. So
All right,
3,
cool. Countdown.
2, 1. And then nice little legs. There we go.
So we're out here at the Plug Short Circuit, and I'm about to catch a battery charge at Amersham Arms. I hope you're worth it.
That's got to be nice to get a reaction for your first bar.
Quicksilver, aka Peter Hardingham. Didn't use his real name because it sounds like he'd be in Parliament. With a cheesy cardigan. Reads The Guardian. He's an actor. After a long day of auditioning, he goes home to his Xbox and his gamer tag's the greasy charlatan. It's Peter Hardingham. But hey, never mind that he's feeding you all these generic lines. Your rhyme patterns might be A, BBA, but it's slipping through your fingers every time. And you hope that it lands. My lines create life because of the big bangs. It's funny I said this battle's slipping through your fingers, because I'll turn Quicksilver to quicksand. To go and play pretend there's no hope to make amends, I'm starting each round clapping shit. Sound like the opening of Friends. See, no one told you life was gonna be this way. Whatever he wrote, his ghost can't clock in his DOA. See, it's both our tryout. The difference is I am hungry for this. I'm talking bone show and feeling malnutrition. So if any of your arguments
That is what
hold
hungry
water,
means, Joe.
I will pick you up and drown you in it.
And pausing.
Not the polite water gesture, like, it's your turn now.
So the
Over
debut
to
of
you,
seeing
Sarah.
DoeJoe, what would be your debut year
Oh,
signature?
God. And, yeah. No, I'd, yeah. let's kill
Single on the
Scapegoat.
album.
Yeah, the now that's what I call number one. Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna try and be cool and nonchalant or whatever. It's very like interesting watching that back and just seeing people in the, like I'm seeing you, Nan, Rivers, like a bunch of other guys. Just like, so it's very cool to see their reactions. And like, especially as I was watching Sunday Roast, like before going a battle, and then you hear like Ribs at the beginning go, this is anticipated. I'm like, there's nice little touches like that. Because I've been around just watching events for a year. So it's like, there's definitely people that like, yeah, that spurred me on to rap. So like seeing the reactions from them there is good to see back. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm so smiley.
I'd love.
You were loving it,
Also,
mate.
I don't know what bar it was after, but I loved the quick little spin, like perfectly.
Didn't plan it.
Perfectly on the spot. Little twirl.
Little step ball
mouse
change.
twirl.
No, I do the exact same thing. Every time I get a big reaction, I just feel like I need to kill time. I do like a little circle. It was just the immediacy and how narrow the turn was. That's a look at the floor and
didn't
spin the joystick turn.
Yeah, my character glitched then. Yeah. No, I didn't plan that. I didn't plan any performance going into this, which is hilarious. Tryouts definitely should, word of advice, plan their performance, not just like what they've written. But yeah, no, it's funny to look back. It's so funny now seeing Frost watch me like he's seen my debut into the world, and now I've got to fucking face it.
Yeah, funnily enough,
He's
Frost
loving
versus
it.
DoeJoe will be on Short Circuit 10 Absolute. It is 10, isn't it?
Yeah, so number 10.
Number 10, very nice.
Oh yeah, and that's a nice little tidbit about this event. So this was Sunday, the Sunday after Plug 3, Shotty and Shuffle.
And
Yeah.
this was the very first Short Circuit as well, so ground floor.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The very first Short Circuit, and I don't think any of us knew at the time like what a series that would become, especially with the new gen. Like, yeah, like just the snowball effect of it all. But like, it is mad to look at now. Like, so Plug 3, Brixton Jam, Shotty and Shuffle, a bunch of people there, and then you get maybe 25 people from that event or just follow the scene in general go over to a free event the next day at Amersham Arms and see the newer guys try it out and then just see it. Like room of 25 people to Short Circuit 10. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. Like, obviously, you know how much a big fan I am of the Academy and giving people like room to develop. It's why I'm so glad that the Academy series has come back. But the Short Circuit crop was just such a huge influx of just out of nowhere, guys like U2, people like Dub, D-Burke, and then guys like Shawnee B finding their feet at the same time, Bentner coming back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like it just seemed like there almost wasn't a need for an academy crop because this just pool of like veterans start like, well, not vets per se, but like people that were seasoned coming back into their own, and then like a crop of you new guys to like put them up against to cut your teeth with. Like it stood on its own from the off.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
now
think
at
the
this point,
first few
sorry,
short
quick, go on.
circuits- Sorry, mate. The first few short circuits, like the matchmaking was quite good because we'd been on like
Yeah.
previous cards, and it was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, so the pathway could be on the next one you battle this guy, and then on the next one, if that one goes well, then you move up on the ladder, you battle them. Like it felt quite like self-contained to begin with because like we've both battled Bentner, like battled a few people who've also battled each other. So like yeah, it felt like a good opening to the series, this event, and then that just carried on snowballing really.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So now at
and
this
you-
point, you've both
and
stood
you-
in
like, you-
front of a
yeah,
round
you
as
battle,
well.
like,
How did that feel compared
Yeah,
to doing
yeah.
it?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say like I was just already looking forward to it being over. Like I remember specifically starting round 3 being like, this is it, this is the last one, here we go.
Also, must be said, doing a 3-rounder in a tryout is not very standard. So kudos to both of you for doing that in the first place.
Nowadays,
Yeah, I mean, typically,
like, I
even,
think-
even on short circuit, like a 3-round tryout, was a bit, kind of like, swinging your dick around a bit, to be honest.
yeah, I guess so.
I know
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, now we're all seasoned and long in the tooth. Like it's not particularly impressive to say I did it, but like for a trial, like I can memorize an extra 60 seconds. Can you? Like it is a bit of a flex.
I mean, I'm not trying to sound snobby, but I think it's probably as a battler, it's probably better than as a viewer. So as a battler, it's best you try out 3 rounds for the first time, because if you can't do 3 rounds, then what are you doing? But as a viewer, you don't want to see people that are brand new like do 3 whole rounds. So it is a risk in that regard.
You've got to be confident you're good. I think if there was like a 3-rounder where you can tell from round 1, you're like, oh, they're just kind of shit. Like,
that, or if it's a stacked card to begin with. Like if I see a stacked card and then 2 tryouts at the starting off, I'm hoping they're 260s instead of 3.
There is something low-key merciful about a tryout being a 2-rounder, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and
it's a nice teaser, isn't it? It's like a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that,
but also because they usually start off the event like, it's the battle that will have the most eyes on it at an event every time, because it's the very first one. So like a lot of the later short circuits, like the people that are doing 260 rounds will get like that short circuit where I battled Grazza, quick battled Wavy John. Those tryouts had like a room of like 50 odd. I mean, so it's a good way to test you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into round 2. 3, 2, 1.
That round was like having sex with a dead pig. Massive struggle. We all know what Joe got for Christmas. Come on, say your thanks to Shuffle. Because of the rhyming dictionary. No, everybody. There's something about you, Joe. I mean, maybe it's your awkward swagger. Maybe it's your weapon. Some Warhammer orcish dagger. We all just saw that round. It's pretty clear you haven't got a lot of talent. Then it clicked. It's your online stalking habits and how you talk to rappers. Yeah. I've seen you on Twitter. You're such a begging a creep. You reply to the deadest of tweets from the men in this league. You beg at every event, I just want to beg you to leave. You reply to what they say online before they're even sending the tweet. Like yesterday, you rub your rounds to anyone who would listen, and I bet they gave you that good try, little guy, that you do to children. So if he cornered you yesterday, I'm sorry, you were just his newest victim, and if this battle's on a knife
This is when he
edge,
gets
I'll grab
proper
the
in my
knife edge
face.
and I'll make a few incisions. Battle rap's your only personality trait and it makes you such an awkward bloke. Everything's a 3-0 or a debatable when you talk to Joe. Let's use our imagination, pretend he had the confidence to speak to women. You meet a girl and she invites you to walk her home. But before he's sealed the deal, he's practicing his bars for me in his monotone and awful flow. And you can disagree. You can shake your little head. And if this is the best you can do, great. But mate, I'm unimpressed. So spit your repurposed rhyming dictionary insults and make your little threats. But there's more people in here than in the front row, Joe. So please say it with your chest.
We'll go straight into Joe's second, I think, and we'll talk about both of them at the end.
Crazy round.
So I mentioned earlier that he's an actor. Today he's swapping his monologues for schemes and metaphors. I'm more John Carpenter. I direct the scene and set the score. See, there's not a lot of money in battle rap. The only thing you'll learn and earn is how to take an L. I mean, considering the talent pool, I'm robbing Peter to pay myself. Everything is up for discussion. When this battle got confirmed, he made his Twitter private. He didn't want this to be public. But his name's Quicksilver. Of course he's always running from something. Admit it already, the manager's lost. He's not going to damage my stock. I'll have you giving out your plasma like a charity shop. What makes you think you can really rhyme with me? No one wants to hear about this corn like Wiley tweets. Wait, switch it up.
Let's go.
Wait, switch it up, remix it and replay. Get that corn out my face. Nacho Libre. I'll leave you in a bloody puddle of piss. Trouble and Briggs, stop the battle. For Pete's sake, get a scratch on your record like DJ Quick. It all comes down to this. Your personality can fuck off. Every ounce of it. All money ain't good money and you're counterfeit. You played yourself, Malkovich. Now watch your rounds get skipped like album skits.
And
You really put that...
pausing and rewinding a little, in fact, to 7:18. So, round two. I just want to say very quickly, because I've mentioned this before when I was reviewing my own tryout. I think the fundamental point of your tryout battle, it's not to come out and, like, you know, reinvent the wheel or blow everyone away. It's to show, like, you've got, like, some fundamentals and you're at least vaguely, A, personable and B, coachable. Like, and I think the fact that both of you have come out, like, showed, hey, I can multi, I can internal, I can perform. It's a really strong performance from both of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm watching it back now. So spoken.
Like, where did, again, like you said, you didn't, like, rehearse the performance. Where did the idea to do, like, the little walk around come from?
Yeah, I wanted to know that
I
as
don't
well.
know.
I feel like that.
Have you done
Again,
that
Again,
since?
I have no idea. I think I've walked around battlers before, but it literally there's no plan. That's just adrenaline in the moment.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know where that came from.
I remember thinking, like, as if I'm being walked around by someone also on their tryout.
Who does this guy think he is?
Like, how are you, like,
It was
how are you
wild to
feeling
me.
about, like, the writing as well? Like, is the stuff that you're seeing, you're like, oh god, I'd never put that in a round now, or like, oh, I'm actually still really pleased with that.
I don't want to sound egotistical, but I fucking love the Malkovich bit.
Yeah, that's hard.
Thanks.
Like, that's a part I remember of yours. So even hearing it, I was like, have you reused this? Because it's like fresh in my mind.
No, yeah, I think that was in that battle only, but it's just I'm chuffed with the stuff that's in there. Like obviously with tryouts, there's not a lot you can go off of, so you know you're gonna use name flips for the most part, and I think they went down all right. I'd say it's so funny with the walking round bit. You see Trubs, Ribs, and Frost like go, wait, what the fuck's happening? Like
Yeah,
I respect
they go, oh
it.
shit.
this guy.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to ask about, like, the new battler mindset. So, like going into the third, I don't know if you guys do this, but do you like keep score in your own head? Were you like watching this thinking, oh, I think I'm 2-0 up, or I think it's 1-1, or were you just like not caring at the time? Were you just more focused on getting the rounds out?
So personally, for me, I because I knew Joe was like an avid fan and he was known by battlers and and friends with battlers. I kind of I was taking like reaction with a pinch of salt. I mean, it's easy for me to say that, but I was just thinking like he's getting reaction because like he's known, like they're kind of on his side. So I necessarily wasn't scoring it, but yeah, in my head I was like, to me it felt fairly even, and I knew I was part of a good back and forth, which was great.
Yeah, same, definitely. Yeah, with that angle, I was literally I was like, because he's like, and if he when Quick goes, and if he said your rounds to the other day, and I was like, oh fuck, I literally have people I've said the rounds to on the day before. I was like, for fuck's sake, he's got me here.
It is a very good clash. Like rewatching it now, I've actually got it like 1-1 going into the third. I've got Joe taking first and Quick taking second. So
yeah, so I going off your question about the scoring thing, I wasn't doing that. I was just fully because like it's like when you first spit that first bar of your first round, time as in ever, time doesn't exist. Like you're just fucking in this weird zone. And so yeah, when in this battle, I'm not really taking score or anything. I'm just like going through the motions, not in a dull way, but in just like, oh shit, like we're on the second round. Oh shit, we're on the third round. I knew I was having a good back and forth, and that we were both doing well. But it's all adrenaline. I was like ill that day, so I was like I needed adrenaline.
Cool. Third and final round.
Yes, can you tell me the time code first though?
I am
Because like
I am at 7:18 because I paused too late because the jump cut was too quick for me.
Okay. 1 second. All right, I'm at 7:18.
Cool. 3, 2, 1. Boop.
You really put the average Joe into average Joe. I want to throw this stick in the bin. Treat him like a javelin throw. Yeah. Now, I had every hope you weren't this shy and nervous, tiny virgin on the surface, but actually a talented bloke. But you are literally battle rap's Jeff Dahmer. So look out for Joe when you're travelling home. I mean, if you're even vaguely involved in battle rap, Joe here is your biggest fan. This time next year, I'll be headlining cards at Brixton Jam. Joe will be there too, still a fan, sipping cans, then dapping up battlers, getting pics for Instagram, then running to the toilets for a little wank while you sniff your hand. I knew this shot would leave you legless. Brilliant. I knew this shot would leave him legless. You're leaving here an amputee, and everyone you came with today are leaving here as fans of me, including all the battle MCs that rap in this league, and I'll help you into the noose to make it clear you can't hang with me.
Oh shit.
You rap online. You rap online in black and white. You must think that you're so edgy. You said you wanted a war, right? Don't tempt me. They've gassed you up for this battle, and I'll choke you with it, but I'll go gently. And if you think he's good, fellas, I'll turn into a raging bull. Joe Pesci.
Nice. Oh.
What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say something like this. You pout and I fuck the camera and it makes me sick. You look like you just took the greatest sip from a tasty drink and it stains your lip. I can't tell if his age is 6 or you should stay away from kids. We need a conclusion fast, so I came to this. You need a razor quick. You are crazy shit. Whereas me, I'm just gonna get better and better. I can feel the mojo. I'm obsessed with his body. Watch it on repeat and in slow-mo. Fuck a pocket tap, you'll need a rocket strap to keep up with me, you slow coach. If there was money on the line, I will prove I can rise to the challenge because I need the dough, Joe. Yeah, best believe I got bread, boss. Leave his skull wrapped up like a headscarf and then smoke this fruity twat like an elf bar. That's it. It's over, Joe. I've made it clear that you are not a threat. You owe everyone in here an apology. We are not impressed. You really got me pissed. It's only right that I offed your head. I got 5 words for Premier Battles. Who or what is next?
Very nice.
This is new smoke, killing all of the crop. Do you believe in a parallel universe? I do. That's cool. I just wanted to call and response. See, that's control. You think you're out this world? Well, let's match that when I send you into orbit. He's been at his gaff, panicking, twitching, sat with his missus, pillow talking, stressing about his performance. I mean, I get it. It's a zoo out here, and to beat me, you're gonna have to knuckle down. Like gorillas walking, death's knocking at your door. Like it's a Mormon, bring the wardens, I'll bring a war and watch him. Lock up with rigor mortis, this is twisted talking, cause it's contorted. So stop fighting it. I'll catch this melon outside, like off licenses. This is really a light performance. He did a voiceover ad for Carphone Warehouse. Forget phone insurance, you need life insurance. Look, I don't care if you have 100 raps in your pucker pad, just know that I can still toe tag with throwaways in my notes app. Understand, watch how an undertaker works, the grave's full, but I can still make room, like a stomach for dessert. I'm trying to be the best on the damn channel. There are 6 million ways to die. You chose a rap battle.
Very nice. So, round 3, couple
awesome.
things I want to talk about. First of all, quick, the stumble. It's the worst feeling in the fucking world, isn't it?
It just feels like forever.
Like it's,
in the moment, like it feels so long.
Especially like in your first battle. Like I mean, like it was reasonably like new for me, but when you do it for the first time, you recovered fine because you didn't just like do the thing where you like you stare at the floor and you go, oh fuck, oh shit. You go, oh, let me get it back. And it's like, so long as you like keep the crowd engaged and style out of it, you get like some forgiveness. And especially considering like how strong the rest of the material is, you pretty much got away with it. So fair play to you for that. Like,
yeah, it was. I remember like beating myself up about it afterwards, like thinking it was, it was a bad look.
It always
but,
feels worse than it is.
Yeah, completely.
I'm obviously biased, but like in terms of battlers recovering, I think Quick is very entertaining when he does it.
For sure.
Like even like with the short prep battle the other day, it's just like it's just funny. Like when you're just saying like, what am I trying to say here? Tell me what I'm going to say here. Like stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's good.
You've got to play into it. Like, you've got to almost roll with the punches. And it's like, no one minded because it was like a throwaway battle. They could tell you were trying to like stitch together 3 full rounds into things that were like vaguely reusable. So, like, no one... there are circumstances where people don't particularly care, but there's a lot of stuff both of you did in this that is... I want to almost call it risky for a tryout. Like, things like, you know... like throwing in like call and response, throwing in like deliberately bad bars. Like, did you ever like look at these and think like, okay, this is what I want to say, therefore I'm saying it, or was it like what was the thought process behind like some stuff that you were on the fence about keeping or not?
So if in terms of like the bad bars and like doing red bars because Joe is in DoeJoe. I think I knew I wanted to do something that was just stupid, and I feel like in future battles I kind of lent into that a bit more. As I said at the beginning, I was like, with writing for this, I was button bashing like massively, doing lots of different things, and so that was intentional. And it's like there's some crowds where they enjoy that sort of stuff more, and it can be divisive in other crowds. I feel like we had a really good, even though it was short, small like attendance. I think we had a good, like, well receptive crowd that just wanted to rock with us and let us get our material off, and it was a good crowd to perform in front of.
Definitely. We have a question from the chat. Shout out to Lorne Risley of the Halcyon Show, fan of the show yourself, Lorne. Thank you for joining us. Joe, Lorne would like to know how you feel you've developed from this performance to now in terms of your style and confidence in writing.
I think I like definitely have improved on my delivery. I'm so like I watched this and the dub battle, and I'm very soft spoken in both. And I guess I didn't feel like I was at the time. Whereas like yeah, if you watch this battle, and then even with our 2-on-2 or the T battle, like there's like I've taken Quick's advice and I'm saying stuff with chess, like yeah, and I'm I'm not trying to sound egotistical. I'm quite chuffed with the writing in this tryout. Like
I think you both should be. To be
so
honest.
I think it's just yeah, definitely 100%. But like I think yeah, what's improved since is just that my delivery and performance, and getting a lot more comfortable. Yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable now than obviously when I started. Yeah.
So, like watching it back, like as a whole, like how, like what was like the immediate reaction to like each other from the room, like general feedback? What was it like to have gotten like a good 3-round, genuine debatable battle, like down and in the books for your first battle?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We had it judged, and
Yeah.
I can't remember who the judges were, but they decided to call it as a draw, which felt good because I
Yeah,
knew
they did.
like
Yeah.
Joe's material I knew was great. Like in terms of tryouts, you want people to have like good moments, and as you said before, like show that they're coachable, and like Joe did that like great. So to then match that and get a draw like was great. I don't think I oh no, because there were battles afterwards, so stuck around. But I used to like just kind of keep myself to myself, so didn't speak too much in depth with people. But yeah, just hearing nice things and like getting to chat to people I've watched for years was yeah, it was a really cool feeling.
Yeah, man, definitely 100%. I think we're quite lucky as tryouts with that crowd because it's a lot of battlers. So like you got Yunnan there, you got Rivs, Frost, who else? I
I
Kids,
kid,
Black Tea, like a very supportive crowd. So to get reaction from people I've grown up watching, that's not lost on me in the slightest. Like seeing you like Yunnan kick off at a bar is like, yeah, like that's mad
yeah,
It was
considering
definitely
how
something
long
I
I've been
took a
watching
lot
it.
into account, like when early, and even now I still enjoy it. Is like looking into the crowd and pinpointing those people. Like, oh man, getting a reaction from you is really fucking cool. Like,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And we all have that, even on days where we like had bad days at the office. We know that if we can get a reaction from someone, like about a certain battler, we're like, oh, that does wonders for us. And this event, like I'm just remembering now, like yeah, like Quick was saying, it was judged, and then Trubs literally goes, "Now we're calling that a draw." Like, and that was such a mad thing to witness because I've never seen that happen
yeah.
with a tryout. And then in terms of like I guess first battle event that we're at, so where we're battling, yeah, like we're talking to the people in the room, but then swiftly after that, so there's a couple battles after that, but then there's when Trubs was the wiretap, there was the wiretap cipher, which is on his channel at the moment. So we saw Tony, Joker Star, uh, Dylan, a bunch of people all in this cipher. And then at one point, I fucking joined in this cipher, and I was like, "This." And I remember T being like, "This is a mad entry to the scene." like,
Yeah.
to be able to do that. Like, I was like, "What is happening?"
incidentally, go
Throwing
watch
yourself
that
in.
Yeah, no,
cipher because
yeah,
Tony's bars on it in particular are incredible. Like he's, I think Trub still uses some of Tony's bars in the intro for
yeah,
the
yeah.
plug now.
Yeah, once me and the plug are connected, causes something electric.
Fucking respect it. It's so good.
Yeah. But like, so yeah, like literally, so that cipher was happening, and then they did an open mic after, like anyone jump in type thing. And I've got clips on my Instagram of me like rapping in that room, and just seeing like the battlers react to it for the first time. It's like, yeah, it's a mad experience.
Good question in the chat
That was a
again from
great
Lorne.
weekend, wasn't it?
So just want to ask you guys, because now that we're in like the ether between the two battles, which is about just short of 2 straight years, I think. Lorne asks,
Yeah.
what was the moment that while battling that made you feel like you'd arrived? Do you want to start this off, Joe?
I don't know if it's a specific moment, but like I remember the day before, I'd asked for advice from Will Ross, Free Will, shout out him, and he was saying like you'll be fine once you get that first reaction. So getting that first reaction is like a major like I've made it moment as a battler because you've got your first pop, and you know you're in the room and you then have the moment to then ride a wave. So like yeah, it was just getting that first reaction and maneuvering that. Yeah.
How about you, Quick?
I'm not sure if he means specifically in this battle or like in general.
I think in general.
But so I'd say in general, like just seeing people on Twitter, like when people come up with like matchups they want to see in the future, and seeing my name in a list like that is a cool feeling because it's like just feels like you've just been accepted. It's a great feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all egotists, we're all narcissists, which is why we do this. So yeah, seeing that's kind of reaffirming that it was a good decision and that my belief in myself like translates into other people also agreeing.
Yeah.
For
And
me,
just like
sorry.
fan response in general. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, I was just gonna say, like, for me, it was my third battle. It was the one in the Fiddlers against Kingsley, funnily enough, where I did that stupid throwaway. You know, this is how you rap for London. I have a knife and a gun,
Yeah.
and the fact the room blew up at it, and it caught me so off guard that it led to my now worst choke because I was like, I didn't expect this shit. This whole time I've been like on the fence, and there was just kind of that moment of, oh, they really love me, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm meant to be doing something.
Yeah, you got to snap back to it. But like, I would also just say, just fan response in general. Like when this first dropped, and with like the feedback being as good as it was, like yeah, that was very much like you know, I can do this moment. Like it's not just something I'm thinking I'm good at. It's there's other people like rappers, peers, and fans of the scene that are liking what we do. And then yeah, I guess like a battle where I've like come into my own or like broke out or whatnot is the Bender battle. But like this is the 100% the steps for it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm very chuffed with this battle.
So we're now.
Yeah, I haven't watched it back in a while, and it's yeah, better than I remember, definitely.
So we fast forward a couple years. You're now both very seasoned. When did talks of becoming a doubles team begin?
That's a good question. I think
Go on, Joe.
for me, I can't think of a certain time, but I've always wanted to do a 2-on-2, and like, and me and Quick became very good mates after our battle, and it just kind of made sense. Like there was no like kind of question about it. I feel like,
Yeah.
like I just wanted to get a 2-on. I wanted to do a 2-on-2 quite badly, and this is how it came to fruition. And I think, well, we had some other opponents beforehand, and that fizzled. But then, like, yeah, this one is how it came about, and like even like this is no slight to Fusion and Hammer. Like, if that was a solo battle, I wouldn't have taken it. But we were so keen to do a 2-on-2. Do you know what I mean? So that like, yeah. So that's part of the reason why we took it.
And in a way, it kind of came very nicely full circle. Sorry, Quick, I'll let you say your bit after. I just wanted to point this out while it's on my brain. It's very nice that it came full circle in that way of like you prep for something for your debut, you're very happy with your material, and just like your tryout, Joe, you end up going against someone unexpectedly good in their tryout that ends up having a debatable battle out of it.
Yeah, man, definitely. And like, not to say we're of that level, but it's like, what battle raps? What's a good part of battle rap is welcoming like other people into the fold. So like we always talk about like vets doing that with the newer gen. So like to have a kind of mini like smaller level version of it, where me and Quick have like welcomed Hamill in is quite a cool thing to see.
Definitely. And I think it was because like both of you were like proven and seasoned at that point. And shout out for Fusion. Obviously we're not going to watch the full battle, but I recommend it for those watching. It's a fantastic 2-on-2 at a time where we're kind of in a drought for 2-on-2s in general, but you two come out swinging with some like excellent chemistry, and Fusion has low-key kind of set it up just to be almost a handicap match for Hamill, just to showcase his boy. But it's, yeah, how did you find the whole 2v2 process, Quick?
Yeah, it was good because I think we obviously have very different writing styles and prep differently. So like I found it beneficial having an insight into how Joe approaches it. And yeah, I feel like I learned a lot from him in terms of like writing and then rehearsing it together. But yeah, we like created like a document and threw ideas in. We met up, like brainstormed ideas, what would be good angles and stuff. Went away, wrote bits, added them, kind of like edited each other's stuff, and that. Yeah, it was definitely a completely different approach to it. But yeah, I enjoyed it, man, and hopefully we can lock in something else in the future so we can give it another spin.
100%. Definitely, man. Guys, going off your point with droughts for 2-on-2s, so there's a playlist on the Prem channel called 2-on-2 battles, and guess how many 2-on-2s are in this playlist?
Oh, I bet there's like 4 total.
Oh yeah, close enough. 7.
Oh, right, cool.
Wow.
So obviously there's Shufflo Scapegoats, there's this battle we're about to watch, there's Craigie and Dazzy versus Cramp Twins, which has just happened. There's
Craigie, Dazzy Talk, Barbarians.
Barbarians, sorry. There's Cramp Twins versus Barbarians. There's Moke and Black Tea against Grazza and Dean.
Yeah.
Are the Afterlife battles on there? What are
no,
the other
it's Shufflo versus Soul and Quill.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah, from Fighting Demons, of course. And what's the last one?
Yeah, the compliments. Oh, and this little indie battle. It's a little ditty. It's an academy battle. It's Rum Nitty and Jazz the Rapper.
Oh, of course. I was just testing you, of course, to see if you recalled what was second place of Battle of the Year and main event of our biggest card, and in fact, one of a select few battles to have broken 100k views. Well done, DoeJoe. You have passed my test.
No problem.
I just want to say, like, me and Crow were meant to battle LSD on Apex 3 when that was a 2-day event. And I feel like I might give it a go in other circumstances, maybe, but at the time I was not in the country, which made syncing time zones difficult. I had just done another battle like 2 weeks before, so we weren't even like writing and prepping. We thought, oh yeah, we'll get it done, like no problem. But it turns out I am both very precious of my own bars and envious of other people's, because it would just be a case of I would check the Google Doc and Crow would have written like 2 completely different 16s on 2 fire angles, and I was like, oh, you motherfucker, all I'm adding is like single jokes or something. And yeah, I don't think I have the mentality for a 2v2.
No, man, I can't recommend it enough. I think every battler should do it in their journey. Do you know what I mean? It's a really helpful and insightful process.
I feel like I would want to do it with someone completely weird. Like, I'd want to do it with someone that you wouldn't expect me to, that like they'd almost question why the battles happen, like something like me and Cobra or something, you know?
Yeah, something out there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely.
I have fast forwarded in the interest of getting through the intros. I am currently at 110. Which I believe is the actual start. It might be Fusion. No, actually, I'm going to go a little further to get past the actual introductions. 140. So let me know when you are synced up, and we will.
140. What? 143.
140.
Oh, my bad.
For a couple seconds out, it doesn't really matter.
1 second. Okay, give me literally 2 seconds. I'm right on it. Ah, shit. 1 second. Nearly there. 3. Wait. All right, I'm on 1 for you. Let's go.
Okay, right. So we're just watching the first round of this, and 3, 2, 1.
Signing off camera. Round 1, let's go. Hold it down.
Yo, make some noise, everyone! Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually happening. You're not under some illusion.
There is no sense of mystery. Our day of judgment's looming.
We got someone from the olden days.
The golden age.
Back when we were all young and stupid.
For this we have scientists chiming in.
Strapped to the teeth.
Maps and machines.
Studied movements.
The man who first faced Raptor.
and really stuck it to him.
The long-awaited return
of Youngin's
fusion. I'm back, baby.
Come on. Bloody useless.
But he's no longer Youngin's fusion.
Nah.
See, he had that name when he was 17.
Now it's just fusion.
Spelled with an X.
It's the most original thing we've ever seen. Oh, we're in Man City and charged up.
But wait a minute. Why are you here in the first place?
And who is Hammer?
This isn't bring your friend to work day.
Because we've been killing shit. You could see it in our last battles.
Now, a battle is this thing we're currently in. We're gonna rap insults at each other. So let's see how your bars handle.
Wait, let me slow it down. I know that you are baffled.
If a Star War, this Joker will crash and burn. It will leave more than a Mark Hamill.
Now that was a punchline related to your name and an actor.
In a relatable manner.
Formed it into a hard angle.
Now, you're probably wondering where's this going. And what's the payoff?
We're only breaking it down to him because we know the younger kids get brain rot.
So don't try chat shit.
iPad kid. The only guns you've got.
So don't try chat shit.
iPad kid. The only guns you've got are on GTA, which should have been taken out of the CD case because you're not even the legal age.
But Fusion here says he's a gangster. His DNA, GBH.
We will beat you with ease.
You get PTSD from your GCSE.
And you get PTSD from CBBC. I said we will beat you with ease.
You get PTSD from your GCSE.
And you get PTSD from CBBC. It's our first 2-on-2 and our first battle in Manny. We need to fuck him up quick.
But I'm just there like, nah, fuck him up quick.
You know what rhymes with Hamill though?
What?
Camel toe.
Not in this battle, bro. I told you, spitting that silly shit is a massive no.
Well, don't just diss it. Have a go.
You want me to have a go at the silly?
Please, thank you, Joe.
You sound like you're at a severe stage of brain trauma. And you look like your diet consists of vapes and rainwater.
Talk that silly shit.
You have the personality of a beige Korma.
Beige.
And you always tell the DJ to play Avicii when you're at the dance. You tell your missus work's gone on late when really he's watching Swan Lake because he respects it as an art. Okay, maybe it's not too bad to have a laugh, but quick, I want to hit him with some Aggie bars.
You had matches with Trouble and Raptor, but those matches had him scarred. Trouble and Raptor sounds like Jurassic Park. When this match got confirmed, the graves were dug. 2 spotty little pests, ladybugs. You look like you would fake the dust from a paper cup. Understand me? My native tongue tastes for blood.
See that? That's called versatility and synergy.
Something we've been doing for a while.
Basically, that's the only time
They want to see a fusion with style. What?
Very nice.
Not too shabby.
How do you feel about it watching it back?
Fusion with style.
Oh, we're pretty good, ain't we, Quick?
Yeah, it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Like, obviously, there's a lot of shufflo influence in terms of like the conversational style and making it low-key panto in places and the banter with each other. Like, it's just fun, man. It's just a fun dynamic you don't get in a 1v1. Obviously, you can have like a little bit of crowd interaction and everything, but
this is it. It's like I think we're always going to get this, like you said, because of the playing with comedic timing, but also our voices and stuff like that. But also, it's like it's something you can't avoid. They are the pinnacle of UK 2-on-2s. Like when you think of the style, but like yeah, it's so much fun.
Because otherwise, you're just kind of playing tag
yeah.
with 16s. You know, like they're the ones that.
Otherwise, it's just dry. Whereas like. Yeah, it's good to have those elements of like playing with different, like experimenting with different factors like comedic timing and then like the back and forth and conversational stuff. But yeah, it's something we're always going to get. But it's also like it's a compliment at the end of the day. I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not something like we agreed or like decided to lean into. I think that's like it just inadvertently comes, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
Because there's comparisons, appearance, we sound like them. Like it's hard to completely run against the grain of that.
So obviously
Definitely.
you want to do another 2-on-2. Is
100%.
there a team that you like that you want to battle that you think would be a good styles clash that you think would be complementary? Like, you know, on a scale of like Dean and Grazza to say Barbarians, you know, like which
I'd love to battle Barbarians.
I'd like to battle both of those teams. Really, I think
Yeah.
they're two good battles that are waiting to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see like one on Undisclosed and one on Short Circuit. Obviously, you know which is which, but
well, this is it. So like, this is both of our first battles in Manny. But it's always it's important for me to do away games, but I would love the opportunity to do a 2-on-2 in London, and I think the Barbarians one is like perfect for that.
awesome. How did you find like the Manny crowd quick? Obviously, like you've now battled in Liverpool as well, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to step in, just so you got a chance to like, because the crowd was fucking electric, and it would have been a real shame for you not to perform, especially because it's like I know your style and the kind of like silly bars you like to do, and I thought, oh, it's going to be such a shame for like this crowd to not be exposed to quick. Possible pause, I don't know. But I just, there's a different dynamic to crowds, definitely, and northern crowds, I think, do definitely vibe with the more, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, self-aware style. I feel like most people that come to battle events in the north these days are more like lifelong fans who are locked in and, like, really listening for wordplay, and, you know, London's more for, like, actual rap flow and aggression and things. That's what I find in my experience. So what was it like being in Manchester?
Yeah, it was fun. We turned up and like Hamill had brought like a dozen people.
Crowd.
Yeah, like if I remember, like Hamill Fusion had like 8 people with them. So
so we thought I don't know, like if they would have been told like, oh no, be like, don't be biased, like react if you want to react and stuff like that. But it kind of felt like we had a bit of an uphill battle in terms of getting the entire room on our side. So we knew we had to bring energy. And I think like we've discussed before, if like you're watching a battle and you can see the battlers are enjoying it, you're then going to enjoy it a lot more as well. So I think like we did enjoy ourselves, and hopefully like that allowed other people to buy into it as well.
It is just a fun
getting out of London,
definitely.
Yeah, it really is. Like they had some great stuff, and getting out of London and doing it to a new crowd, getting new eyes on you, and chatting to new people, meeting new people, it's just good fun. Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome.
100%.
Cool. So that's both your first 2v2 and your first battle. Thank you both so much for joining me on this stream. Before we wrap up good and proper, DoeJoe, where can people find you? And anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. Sure. Me and Frost, Short Circuit 10. Yeah, me versus Frost, Short Circuit 10, March 29th. You can get tickets at premierbattles.club. Myself versus Black T is now out on the Premier Battles channel. You can follow me at DoeJoe MC, that's DOEJOE MC on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. I think that's my handle for Blue Sky. Although it's low key such a dry app, but I need followers on there, so come follow me. That's the stuff I've got coming up. Watch this space.
Awesome. Same for you, Quick.
Yeah, I'm just on Twitter at Peter Hardingham. Watch my battles on YouTube. Watch DoeJoe Black T. You can look up my production company, Tricky Tommy, if you want to watch. We do some acting, comedy bits. And looking forward to the rest of the year, see what it brings. Thank you for having us on, mate.
Awesome, not a problem.
Yeah, Quicksilver versus Ghast dropping on the Patreon, Premier Battles Patreon soon.
Also, I want to ask your opinion of this quick, because I'm gonna pull back the curtain slightly. Brixie asked me if I think it deserves a channel drop. Like, is that something you would want to be public, or are you happy with it just being like a fun little thing we did?
I mean, I'd like my friends to see it, and my friends aren't going to get on the Patreon. Do you know what I mean?
Fair. I didn't know because I know that you had like a couple stumbles in it just because of the circumstance. I didn't know if you were like on the fence about it that way, like, or if they were just like
it's
little
annoying.
You wanted to clip or something.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like I could definitely do that. So whatever is best for the channel.
Real quick, Ghast, before you go, this is going to be so silly and nerdy. But I told you there's an Easter egg in this battle. Now that you've seen both battles, have you clocked the Easter egg?
I don't believe I have. Also, something that just dawned on me that I haven't brought up. DoeJoe, the slogan, was that always your intention to make it a slogan, or was it just something you ran with?
Not at all. So, yeah, it's the 6 million ways to die thing. So yeah, that was just the bar in that round. And then I'll give full credit to him. Bentner at one point DM'd me, maybe before our battle, was like, you should make that your slogan. And then I made it my slogan in the Graza battle. And I found it very mad that people knew the bar, because it's a bar I said in my first battle. But yeah, so fully not planned again, like most things that we've seen here today. Not planned, it's just kind of happened, spur in the moment. Yeah. There you go, I've got a slogan now.
Other than that, I have no idea what the Easter egg was. Would you care to enlighten me?
Right, look at both battle thumbnails again and see if you notice a similarity.
Oh, did you wear like the same stuff?
Yeah.
Oh
Little
my god,
throwback.
that's crazy.
It's so nerdy. I remember I told, because it was my idea to do it, I told Rick about it on the day, and Rick just, without thinking, just goes, "That's the gayest thing ever." You cut out for a second.
A little, yeah.
Okay, right, I think we're back. Right, cool. Apologies to those that stream if we just randomly abruptly cut out. Luckily, I think the only thing it interrupted was me, so hopefully you didn't miss anything. It says we're now back to 0 drop frames. Isn't that lovely? What a perfect opportunity to, with that, say that we are wrapping up. So once again, both of you, thank you for joining me. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of your 2025 goes. Definitely looking forward to strong showings from both of you. It's going to be a fun year for Premier Battles, I think.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me, man.
No worries. And for all of our concurrent viewers and all of you watching in the future, I have been your host, Ghast Buff. Once again, it is another week where I am reminding myself that I have not made an outro graphic and need to do that. So instead, you're getting a very somber, dramatic, low blackout, I suppose. Farewell. Thank you for watching.